On this all-new episode of Nightlife, we sit down with Zack Whitecloud to discuss inspiring others.
When I was a kid, I used to look up to hockey players and people that played for the Brandon Wheat Kings. They were, kind of my heroes, right? So having understood that and now being in that position kind of comes full circle.
And we relive number 2's day with the Cup.
Seeing people that I haven't seen in a long time, coaches, friends, ex-teammates, it's just a really cool feeling to be able to, see those faces and see what the Cup means to them, and just to be able to celebrate the achievement that goes into a lifetime of work.
Plus, we see what Zack is up to in the community.
Being able to not only support Scott's Foundation, but being able to help raise awareness, but again, money to fund something that's locally here in Vegas is something we take a lot of pride in.
All of that and more this week on Nightlife.
The truest inspiration comes from authenticity, genuine and original character. Meet Zack Whitecloud, realest of the real. Once a college free agent who asked a broadcaster for pen and paper so he could retain his observations during his first day in the NHL. Now, a Stanley Cup champion, but he's the same person. A 27-year-old who looks inward and outward, not just so he can be the best version of himself, but so his community can also be lifted up. Whitecloud comes from just outside Brandon, Manitoba, and the First Nations son calls Sioux Valley Dakota Reservation his own. It's where he took the Stanley Cup this past summer. He grew up idolizing hockey players, and he knows young people in Las Vegas and those within his culture are looking up to him now. I'm no one special, I'm just a hockey player, says Whitecloud when discussing the platform playing in the NHL provides. It's a gift, not a responsibility. It's something you're able to do, not something you have to do. The players love him. He hits, blocks shots, and embodies the do what it takes to win mantra. There's no better teammate. Zack's family built him an outdoor rink to skate on as a kid. He dragged his teammates to the local 7-Eleven on weekends after games. He even took the Stanley Cup with those same buddies to that same Sev this summer. This season, on the night of his birthday, he opened a bag of his favorite all-dressed potato chips and walked up and down the aisle of the airplane, sharing with everyone. During the Stanley Cup parade, he learned a VGK staffer hadn't had a chance to lift the cup yet. Whitecloud made it happen right there on Las Vegas Boulevard. His smile just as big as that of the beaming employee. In Zack's world, everyone matters. Like we said, the realest of the real, both inspired and an inspiration.
Welcome into this special edition of Nightlife. Since the franchise started, the Golden Knights have inspired so many, not just in the desert, but all over the globe. For Zack Whitecloud, the game of hockey has given him a chance to set an example of what a leader looks like. Ashley Weiss sat down with the defenseman to talk about inspiring others.
Zack, the reason we wanted to chat with you today is you've really made it a priority to represent your heritage, to represent the Vegas Golden Knights. How do you view the responsibility that comes with being a professional athlete?
I mean, there's a lot of ways I think you can view it in terms of family, how you conduct yourself at the rink, away from the rink, for your teammates, for the organization. There's a lot of aspects I think that go into it, and different guys are role models or someone that people look up to in different ways, right? And for me, that's my culture and my people. That's been something that I've tried to make sure that I hone in on from the beginning of kind of my time in junior, really, because I was about 20 minutes down the highway from my home reservation, which was very cool for me to be able to play that close to home. So a lot of people were able to come and watch and support that maybe otherwise wouldn't have. So for me, that was kind of the start of somewhat understanding that what I was doing had an impact. I'm no one special. I'm just a hockey player. That's just what I do. So But I understand that, you know, when I was a kid, I used to look up to hockey players and people that played for the Brandon Wheat Kings. They were, you know, kind of my heroes, right? So having understood that and now being in that position kind of comes full circle. So it's really cool for me to be able to play on this stage and play for this team and be, you know, that person for my people.
You mentioned a few keywords there: hero, role model. Has kind of becoming an idol to young hockey players changed the way that you view yourself at all?
Not really. I mean, personally, I don't think I've changed really. I don't really do anything different than what I, you know, did in junior hockey or college or whatever it is. I still play the game because I love it, because of the guys and being able to win championships and all that sort of stuff. So the only other thing that's added now is obviously being more on that role model side of you know, working in ways to give back to your community, to your people, to our community here in Vegas. Just using your platform to have that impact. And it's as I've gone throughout my career, I understand the importance of it. I think as each year comes by, and being that role model for people, not just that are fans of VGK, but are just fans of hockey, or you know, people from my home community, or whether that's just anyone from my culture. I think that's a gift. That's not a responsibility. That's something you are able to do, not that you have to do. And I think once you look at it that way, it becomes a little less with pressure, because there is pressure that comes with that. There's pressure with any job or career that we have in our lives. That just doesn't mean professional athletes. That's, you know, anyone going to do whatever they love. There's pressure to succeed, there's pressure to execute. People are relying on you, your family's relying on you. And that's no different in my career. So I understand that each year goes by, there's more pressure to be able to be in a position, but at the end of the day, and as I've realized throughout my career, you're able to do that. You're not pressured or have to do that. So that's something that I take a lot of pride in being able to do, and being in this situation that I'm in is having that opportunity and platform to give back.
And you were able to give back to Sioux Valley by taking the cup there. When you look at the number of people who traveled from all over to see the cup and to know that you were the one that brought that to them, what did that mean to you?
I think if you probably asked everyone there, you know, more importantly, my friends and family, you know, did you see this coming? And, you know, 99.9% of the people would have said not a chance. So I think having known that growing up and kind of coming where I come from, and the way that that whole day kind of came to be, was the coolest part. And I think you show it to people like your grandma and your mom gets to see it up close, and your dad and your family members. You relive that moment that you see it for the first time. You relive it 600 times in that day. And I think that's what's so special about this trophy in our game, is that it's the hardest trophy in sports to win, and it's the greatest trophy in sports. And being able to take that back to my home community, to Brandon, you know, to allow my friends and family to sit with it and just look at all the history that's on it, you know, it just makes the grind that it took to get there just so much more worth it, and just makes you want to keep going and keep doing it again.
Time for our first break here on Nightlife. Coming up next, we relive Zack's day with the Stanley Cup from this past summer in Brandon, Manitoba.
You know, it's a place I learned to love the game. You know, outdoor rinks just down the street there. Sometimes I'd go there on my skates and skate there. So, no, it's one of my favorite places in the world.
Keep it locked, right here on Nightlife. Welcome back to Nightlife. For Zack Whitecloud, winning the Stanley Cup meant so much, and perhaps above all, the chance to inspire others from his reservation back in Canada. We head to Brandon, Manitoba to relive that special day.
Into the slot for Whitecloud. He scores! The Golden Knights take the lead. The Stanley Cup!
I'm thankful for everyone at home for following along and being a part of the journey. There's so many people that help all of us get to this point in our lives.
It was just kind of like, whoa. You know what I mean? You just won this thing that you used to win on video games. And I think that's when too you start to reflect on your kind of the steps you've taken throughout your career and your life and kind of what's brought you here. We're home. Brandon, Manitoba. We're at my mom's place here where, you know, still my childhood home. When I first took it out of the vehicle, showed, you know, my grandma, my friends, and they got to see it and just like, you know, look at the names. My buddies looking at this trophy that they've always seen on TV. I think seeing other people's reaction just reaffirms just the magnitude of what that trophy means.
See that?
Yes, it's pretty fancy, isn't it?
Right down there.
I'm sorry I can't sit in the cup though.
You know what's in it?
It was funny, I was expecting a different reaction from my grandma, but I think she's just playing it cool and that sort of stuff.
Here, look right down there.
Oh yeah.
Right at the very bottom.
Yeah, that's all right. It's on there.
Yeah, it's good enough, eh?
Sure.
Good enough?
That's the main thing.
I was able to, you know, have some breakfast with mom and grandma, and it was a cool moment. You know, Brandon's obviously home for me. It's been home for a long time. It's one of my favorite places in the world. You know, it's a place I learned to love the game. You know, outdoor rinks just down the street there. Sometimes I'd go there on my skates. A lot of that starts with the outdoor rink here in the backyard, and you know, a lot of memories on that backyard. He even started painting the lines in to kind of make it feel like an actual hockey rink, which you know, obviously was exciting for us guys. You know, it was always nice being able to step out your back door and just go right on the ice. It's a lot of memories with my buddies growing up, learning to love the game. They've been the type of parents that didn't, you know, push me to play hockey or force me to play hockey. They just gave me the opportunity to play, and I just kind of ran with loving to play the game and wanting to go out there and play and get ice and go to the outdoor rinks. I really idolize the Wheat Kings here in town. We always had Wheat Kings staying at our house, and so I think having that connection to the team and you know, probably helped my perspective of the Wheat Kings and just being able to kind of relate to that a little bit more. And I felt like that, you know, when I was a young kid, that was my NHL team. That was, you know, the older kids that I went and watched and, you know, tried to be like too. So, but just a fan of hockey in general. We went to my kindergarten school that I first started going to school just down the block here and get a picture in front of that, which was really cool. And out to Sioux Valley, spent an hour with the family and then an hour down with the community and others from surrounding communities, you know, other provinces, which was a really cool reception. The excitement of the whole thing really just kind of hit home for me, and just how important and again, the magnitude and the weight that trophy carries.
This is just honoring Zack, and the family really wanted to see him and honor him.
Just to be able to walk into that atmosphere and to see all the support and the people that have come from far places, right?
It takes so much, right? Dedication and just a supportive family, which as you can see, they've all been at his games right from junior hockey, same as I have.
It just wasn't my community of Sioux Valley, it was communities from Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, from all over the place. And to me, that just exemplifies how much support there is for our Indigenous people and our athletes around, you know, not just Canada, but south of the border as well. You don't ever think there's that many people out there, you know, supporting you or watching you and that sort of stuff, right? So to be able to do that was something that I'm very grateful for, but even more proud of.
I've seen the cup in Toronto, but I didn't think they would ever see it or to see the Whitecloud name on it, right? So that's historical. It always will be there, right? So that's the really cool thing.
That was exciting, and then went to my local junior rink, which I got to see a lot of people that, you know, still support the team to this day, and kind of watch me obviously play as a junior hockey player and turn into a pro, and so again, that's a really cool experience to be able to do that and just see a lot of familiar faces, you know, from doing community activities and all those sorts of things. So I'm super grateful for that. And then made our way back here and hung out with all of my family and friends, and seeing people that I haven't seen in a long time, coaches, friends, ex-teammates, people that I've crossed paths with in the community. It's just a really cool feeling to be able to, you know, see those faces and see what the cup means to them. You know, it led to this moment, which is a cool way to bring people together and just to be able to celebrate the achievement that goes into a lifetime of work.
Time for another break here on Nightlife. Coming up next, more of our conversation with Zack.
We truly do love being in the community and supporting our community because they support us every single night. And community is what drives the hockey team.
Keep it locked. Nightlife on Script Sports will be right back. Welcome back to this special edition of Nightlife about inspiration. We rejoin our conversation with Ashley and Zack.
Youth hockey has grown tremendously here, thanks in large part to the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to be part of the reason that so many kids in the area are picking up the game that you love so much?
I mean, it's the same thing when we were kids, right? For me, it was the Brandon Wheat Kings that drove me to play hockey. We always had, players from the team living at our house as we were a billet family. So I always had that connection with, junior teams and stuff like that, and kind of growing the game. Granted, I grew up in Canada, and so that's obviously a little different than here. But seeing the growth of our youth hockey association here in Vegas is absolutely incredible, and it's so cool to see because that's obviously where we all started, was playing on outdoor rinks and going to play basically unorganized hockey, throw your stick in the middle and toss them whatever way. And that's where the game that's where I found the love for the game, was on the outdoor rinks, freezing your feet off and not feeling your hands and stuff like that. And you got to look back on those times and just truly realize that what this game is here for is to have fun with it, but more importantly, we have fans that support us every single night here on the road. You go into opposing teams' buildings and you hear the night chant, and it's louder than the home team's chant. And that's a testament to our fan base, and we truly do love being in the community and supporting our community because they support us every single night. And community is what drives the hockey team. And it's not just the players, it's not the coaches, it's not the staff upstairs, it's an entire franchise of fans that drive this team. And I think our fans realize that because they understand how important they are. And we want to keep winning championships and bringing good hockey to this city and our fan base.
You made the comment earlier that you didn't know that you'd ever be in this position. What advice do you have to youth hockey players out there that feel the same?
Same thing as I was told, keep playing because you love it. And whatever career you find, whatever passion you find in life, just do it to the best of your ability and do it 100%, go all in. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You know what, that's life. So for me, hockey's always been something where, it's never been life or death, right? It's something I've been able to have fun with, and that's why I continue to play the game, is because it's fun, because I want to battle for those guys in there, for the fans. And Vegas is the team that gave me my start in the NHL. So, I love going to this rink every day, playing for our fans, living in this city, staying here year round, staying in the summers. I'm Vegas.
Time for one final break here on Nightlife. Coming up next, Zack hosts a meet and greet with a cause that's close to his heart.
VGK Foundation and myself, happy to support such a foundation that gives back to the cancer community and helps to not only raise awareness but funds to fund research.
It's a great way to empower these children through Skate to Eliminate Cancer, that they're changing the world that they're going to inherit. That it's going to be a much better place thanks to their efforts, and that they have a lot more power in their day-to-day living than they ever thought possible.
Keep it locked, right here on Nightlife. Welcome back to this special edition of Nightlife about inspiration. Back in October, Zack Whitecloud took part in a meet and greet with fundraisers and sponsors for Skate to Eliminate Cancer, hosted by Scott Hamilton, a former Olympic champion. The event proceeds benefited the Scott Hamilton Cares Foundation and Cure for the Kids.
Cares came out of my cancer journey. I realized that anybody going through a cancer journey is facing a lot of obstacles and a lot of fear based in a lack of knowledge and understanding. CARES stands for the Cancer Alliance for Research, Education, and Survivorship. What we're trying to do is advance the science of cancer treatment options. We know that the promise of the future is immunotherapy, and so we're just pushing hard to be able to allow research scientists to meet their goals and to have more and more applications for that particular treatment for more and more types of cancer.
Scott invited us to come and be a part of the Skate to Eliminate Foundation event here at City National. Hey buddy, how's it going? Nice to meet you, I'm Zack.
Come on in.
You want to get a picture? The VGK Foundation and myself, happy to support such a foundation that gives back to the cancer community and helps to not only raise awareness but funds research.
It's a great way to combine generations and mediums of ice sport and all come together for a common cause and something that touches us all.
A lot of people are coming through with jerseys or shirts or pucks, and this community and the environment that our community members create for not only the hockey team but just as a city, and it's just great to see the support no matter where we go, especially here at our home rink too.
Skate to Eliminate Cancer is our nationwide peer-to-peer fundraising platform, and what we do is we go into skating rinks and we do frozen 5Ks, which is skaters do 39 laps. Today we're doing our Celebration Ice Show, which all of our main fundraisers, when they hit a certain fundraising platform, they qualify to skate in the ice show, where we celebrate their achievements and we celebrate their skating, and it's a really fun way to get skaters in front of a big, lively audience. And we have a couple guest skaters here with us today, which is really fun. Some Olympic skaters.
Our team and our foundation, we take a lot of pride in being a part of our community, and that includes being in things that raise awareness for our community and raise funds for our community. And something like Skate to Eliminate Cancer and Scott and his foundation, part of the donations and funds raised today are going towards Cure for the Kids here in Las Vegas. So it's something we take a lot of pride in, and something we're always happy to do.
The reason I do what I do is because this is a solvable problem. We just have to come together, and the more people that get behind funding cancer research, the quicker we're going to get to those answers. I'm really hoping that people will join us, people will come on board, and just help us save lives.
That's all the time we have for you this week on Nightlife. Make sure to tune in next week as the Breakdown Squad is at it again. This time, the art of skating backwards. Until then, Knights fans, we bid you adieu.